It's been a long time coming, but I really wanted to share something new in my life. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna do something different. We're gonna do a little office tour of my new streaming setup, work from home setup, as well as just my play area. Let's get into it. You may be surprised to see more of my office, because typically you only see the top down of about 4 feet wide as I'm streaming. This is the whole office. And what the camera's on right now is actually a standing desk. That's kind of like the forefront and the main focus of this desk in this office space. But before we get into the desk, let's talk about storage. So the first thing I've done was I bought this IKEA Alex. I saw this short and stout one. It may have those, I didn't install the wheels. But this is important because you need to have storage. So this has all my techie stuff, has all my streaming stuff, has my knickknacks, miscellaneous tools. I didn't put it next to the desk because I wanted that side to be clean. On top of it, I have a 3D printer. Now that I have my own office, I don't share a room with my wife, I can run the 3D printer and it won't annoy anybody. But this 3D printer only cost me $100 from Micro Center. It was on sale. It was an email newsletter sale, and it has given me so much joy and given me a way to be creative and play with things, like to make things like this. This is a 3D printed switchboard to install switches into keyboards. Oh, I'm sitting on something. This right here is a Herman Miller Cosm. This chair is more so that you don't have to make a small adjustment, so they're really better suited for office spaces where in like a conference room or something where multiple people are gonna sit in it. I'm not multiple people, I'm just one people's. But I got it on a sick deal. It was like a silent auction at one of the companies I worked at, and I ended up getting it for about $300 something. It's like $1,600 retail. This is the mid unit. Not mid as in bad, but like it's the mid height, and it is a special teal color with the leaf arms. You may ask, are these leaf arms uncomfortable? Yes, they are. They cut at my elbows for like a long time though. But the chair itself is great. I actually had a warranty issue where some of this was scratching off, and because I didn't buy it used and I got it new directly from the company, I was able to get it repaired under warranty. They came to my house, they've replaced the entire top actually, and off they went. So that is a benefit of buying this new if you have the dough, but otherwise probably just buy something secondhand from Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Get like an Aeron for like 300, 400 bucks. This here is a window. I have a yard. Just flexing on y'all, just sorry. A yard for the doggo who's not in the room right now, but he enjoys it. Some more storage. I have some extra space over here. That's an IKEA lac table. It was originally built so that I can do the 3D print on top. It's like 22 by 22 inches. It's 2 of them, and I wood glued them together and added casters so that it can be rolled around. Right now it's just sitting pretty over there. And that's just all the stuff that I'm storing primarily for the charity stream that we'll be doing later today. So by the time you see this video, the charity stream would have already happened. And this here is a basket to quickly grab for when I need to stream, because it has all the tools I need to stream. So I have this power cable, and I have this fume extractor, solder iron, stuff like that. And I have a router and a modem. Unfortunately, down there, you won't be able to see it. I wasn't here, my contractor's doing work on it. And the cable person from Charter, they drilled a hole in my floor and connected the coaxial cable there. So now I have a hole in the corner of my room. So I have to have something here to hide it. It's okay, don't be angry. Now to the main part of my desk. This is where I'm gonna spend the most time. This is a desk house desk. It is one of the more premium options. It's probably the most premium option, most expensive option for a sit stand desk. I've looked at Fully, I've looked at Uplift, and I've looked at a multitude of others, and I landed on this one. Why, you may ask? Well, one thing, it's sturdy as hell. So, right now it's in a standing position, and I'm gonna lean on it. It really is not going anywhere. It's freaking solid for a standing desk. The top is a 30 by 80 walnut select desktop, 1.75 inch. Unnecessarily thick, you don't need walnut, you can get butcher block for much cheaper. Yeah, I wanted to ball out because I realized from my last desk build, which is the Home Depot butcher block top with IKEA Alex drawers, that there's no reason to ever really replace your desk. So if you're gonna buy once, cry once, you're gonna lose money. So might as well just ball out. Especially since I got a new house, wanted to really enjoy my space, because prior to this, if you didn't know, I was actually using a 8-foot wide table, 24 inches deep. This right here is 30 inches. Got another 6 inches, baby. But with only 24 inches, and sharing it, I had a 24 by 48 inch area to work. So my stream that you saw, I only had 2 feet deep, 4 feet wide. I lived with that for almost 2 years. Crazy. And the only thing I wanted, I dreamed of getting, was to have a deeper desk, have more space. Now I have that, and I have it thick too. Thicker is better. So with this desk, I got the standing height. You see, the camera is actually on the table right now. I'm leaning into it, I'm pushing it. Do you see any shaking? Probably not. Because the Apex Pro Max legs, which is the most expensive option, as well as a 1.75 inch thick top, as well as the fact that it's 30 inches by 80 inches. So not only do I go from 48 inches to 80, which is almost 7 feet, another half foot deeper, the entire thing is a freaking unit. This right here allows me to build keyboards while standing. Why does that matter? When you get lower, when building a keyboard, I'm like this. That's probably not good for my back, right? Having the opportunity or the option to stand has been really nice. Really, as long as you stand up frequently, you get the ergonomic benefits of a sit-stand desk, but some of us forget. So having a standing desk is fun. It's not required. The reason I got a standing desk specifically was right here. Normally an Alex drawer is 27.5 inches and a butcher block top probably is an inch or an inch and a half. That height is like 1 inch too tall for me to be able to sit with my feet on the ground and have the 90 degree. And you can't make an Alex drawer shorter. So I just kind of lived with it. I raised my chair up like this. And then once I raise my chair up, my feet are dangling. So my feet are hanging like this. That's no good. So I gotta get a footrest. The whole process was super annoying because whenever I moved in my chair, left to right, I'd have to move the footrest with it. So I had two options, either have a shorter desk using shorter legs and not have the Alex drawers right underneath, or a sit stand. And I made the economically unwise decision to buy the most baller sit stand possible, Desk House. They're not sponsoring this video, but if you like what you see here, you like the stability, you wanna flex like your boy, consider buying using my link and code in the description. So you don't have to go with the most baller option like myself, but the Apex Pro Max has stability, not only in the forward motion, this motion, but also left and right. There's crossbars. You can save money by buying the other legs like the Apex Pro. They have less stability left to right, which shouldn't really matter unless you like do this a lot. All of their legs are sturdy forward and back, which is one that matters the most, where you push forward, you bump into it, you can go with that. I wanted to go all out. You can't talk about a desk setup video without talking about the cable management. Let's go POV mode. If you were to set up desk, this is what we got here. We have a 1440p monitor, 60 Hertz. We got a 4K 144 Hertz monitor. We'll link everything in the description. We have a keyboard there for flexing. We have the Desk House 3-in-1, which is amazing because that 3-in-1, the cable, extension cable goes all the way across, and at each point there's outlets. So there's outlets down there, and there's outlets down there. And this is the best I could do with the cable management, because here's the problem. As a streamer, I have to have a camera there. I have to have a top-down camera up there. So I have all these cables and a big light. This is the Aperture 120D with the Light Dome Mini 2. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I got the Kanto U2 speakers. They're solid, but I would recommend getting a sub for them. Got my stream deck for the streaming. I only use the bottom row because I'm very simple. I want to explain to you how these cameras work. So the core of this setup is to have Vivo monitor arms going all the way up. This is an extended one that goes up 3 feet tall, and this is a 2-stack one. But I've learned that the Elgato Master mount to mount these cameras, especially if you use the big boy cameras like myself, won't really stay put, they end up sagging. So what I've done is I use a monitor arm to go straight up, right? That monitor arm clamps to the desk, it goes straight up. I clamp my light to it. Wait, how do you clamp a light to it, Andy? See right there? Usually it looks like that. So I took out this and that screw and bolt, took that out, now there's a hole. We're using a toolkit to attach to a hole. That's literally the hole. Or I had a male portion to clamp my light to. So that's my Aperture 120D light. Then with the camera, I'm using the main arm vertical as the foundation. Manfrotto Magic Arm clamped to it. And that from that Manfrotto Magic Arm, then I have an RC2 plate. You may be a little lost. The RC2 plate is just a quick release so I can pop the camera off. Now I have a very sturdy, heavy duty method of mounting my camera. The master mount and the ball head was just too weak for my cameras. We're up here now. We have more adapters. I think I have like 3 of these monitor arm kits and I just kind of Frankenstein them off. So that's a monitor arm. It's a longer one. I just connected 2 of them to make it longer so it can go straight down. Same concept. I have a male to male end, then I have the female to female, and I connected a ball head to it. You can buy any ball head. I just happen to have the GorillaPod ball head because the GorillaPod legs suck, but the ball head's good. So from the ball head, I connected an RC2 plate. And then the camera that you're looking at right here can also mount up here. So this is how it looks all set up. Right there, turn this on. Look, it's me. So the camera is connected via the RC2 quick release. I can take it off and put it on at any moment. That's how my top down looks. Very clean, I enjoy. And that's how the face cam looks. Sorry, this is editing Andy. I forgot a few things like how the camera connects to the computer. Well, I'm using the AverMedia Live Gamer Ultra. It's the only one that allows me to do 2 cameras without overloading the USB bus and then disconnecting them most of the time. It just connects via HDMI into USB-A into the computer. And unfortunately, if I were to do this again, I would get a bigger computer and not use USB capture devices because of the USB bus issues. But this is what I'm stuck with, and I have a small form factor PC, so I just gotta deal with it. And then, you know, cable management, it's whatever. I can't really clean this up. I just kind of zip tie what I can along the vertical poles. Because when I sit down, it's relatively clean. It's relatively clean. So all the cables go down vertically. I have this extra extension in case I want to mount something else in the future, and all the cables back there. So get to the fun part. Let's raise this bad boy up. Now we get underneath it. Well, before we get underneath it, this is my NR200. It has a 3080 EVGA 4 to the Win 3 GPU, 5900X. You don't need to know about that. You've seen the video. I'll link it up here so you can watch if you want. Now let's get underneath. So with the Apex Pro legs, you can see all these cross members, right? There's one here. A lot of the stability is actually from that little skinny cross member in front of me. And there's 4 skinny ones up here. Those cross members end up being channels, so I can use those to kind of mount the cables. The controller for the legs has its own cabling, so that has to kind of be organized in a certain way. And for my cables, I bought these Vivo boxes. They're like J boxes. And then I just stuff them all in there. Because I am not a huge fan of cable management. I just buy things, I stuff them in. As long as it's out of sight, it's all good for me. So my control box for the Aperture 120D, use my key light. Right there, it's hard to reach. So I bought a remote and I just Velcroed it there. So I can just turn it off and on. That's pretty much it. The assembly of this desk was a little cumbersome because they didn't have directions at the time of filming. I think they may have it now, but I just watched one of the owners build it and I followed along. Which is probably not the best way to learn how to build a desk, but it was manageable. So I talked about the 3-in-1. So that's the start of the 3-in-1. I brought a little folding thing to kind of manage that cable. Now, they sell their own, but it was out of stock when I bought, so I just bought it on Amazon. This one's just magnetic down there and magnetic to the J channel thing that I bought. So that's the power cable. I was talking about before, this is one of the outlets. There's 3 right here, and that's the same cable. The extension cable goes all the way around, goes up here. There's 3 here, and there's another 3 here. Right here, I have a wise plug that I haven't set up yet, so that I can turn off the cameras in case I forget to leave them on. But I have power strips and all the power adapters and cables just along those boxes. I'll go around the back to show you. This is where all the hell happens. So you can see right there, all the cables are behind the desk. It's not managed amazingly, but I tried. Okay, I tried. Oh, I forgot to talk about 2 things. This right here is a condenser microphone that I use. It is the Octava MK012, and I really like it because it sounds most detailed, very natural, and it's much cheaper than the competition. I think it's like 120 bucks when I bought it. It's on a shock mount, it's a Ryco shock mount. Really isolates it and I really like it because I don't like to use dynamic microphones when I'm streaming because sometimes it just gets up in the way. They're big, cumbersome. This one I can set up in a way that it's not visible on stream, so it's like an invisible mic. It's on a cheap Amazon arm, which squeaks. You get what you pay for. So I move it out of the way when it's not in use, and I think you've seen this before. You've seen this before. You know what this is. This is the Corn Endgame keyboard. I'm still using it. And editing Andy again. This video is made possible by our sponsor, Skillshare. I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is a community of creative and curious people, and you can learn so much without kind of going through the trials and tribulations of doing it yourself like I did when I started. I mentioned a few times, right? I lost my job, I got another job, but the skill that allowed me to kind of weather these storms is learning how to make videos. I tried to find local people in the community, and I tried to kind of apprentice underneath them and learn their skills by working for free. I joined Skillshare because I want to learn things faster. I've been going through a course by Ali Abdal, one of the most successful creators on the platform. And it's really nice to see everything kind of broken down so you can get the answers for questions you didn't even know to ask just yet. Starting from zero, you may not know what the importance of a thumbnail is. You may not know how to set up with your phone, or you may think that you need a crazy camera to do it. But no, Ali Abdal's course breaks it down. And really, there's a lot of tips in here that kind of motivate you as well. It's kind of daunting to start a new project like this, but I implore everyone to at least give it a try. Join Skillshare, learn a new skill. Maybe that skill can be marketable, give you an edge, especially with the impending recession. Find something new to do, better yourself, and hopefully you become more creative, hopefully you become more successful, or you just enjoy learning a new skill. If you want to try Skillshare, click the link in my description below, and the first 1,000 people get 1 month free to try it out. Let me know how it goes. Thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video and helping me insulate myself from the recession and pay my mortgage. But yeah, that's it. The sun's coming in and it's getting really bright in here. But let me know if you have any questions on the office setup. I know this is something you probably haven't seen a lot. This whole mounting system was DIY'd. I looked far and wide to find a more sturdy way to mount my cameras. There's not a lot of information on streaming setups, so let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. And if you want to learn more or ask more specific questions that are outside of the YouTube comment section, consider joining the Discord. There'll be linked in the description. And if you want more one-on-one time, I have a Patreon community that I spend a lot of time with, and I answer questions more directly, give them advice. Join the Patreon if you're able. I will see you in the next one. I gotta get set up for a charity stream now. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks to all the patrons and the YouTube channel.